Hey there, I'm Joe Carter. If you've ever popped the hood and thought, where do I even start? You're in good company. Around here, we take the mystery out of car repair, one fix at a time. Whether you're a beginner or just looking to sharpen your skills, there's something here for you. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you're into learning without the headaches. All right, that's enough from me. Let's get into it.
We do not recommend you to increase the clearance of the car by the first method because, firstly, any comfort when driving on stiff springs is out of the question. Secondly, the body and suspension will be subjected to shock loads of greater force than with standard springs. Installation of interscrew spacers on the springs of the car leads to the fact that the springs will be longer and stiffer, so the result will be similar to the installation of the car more rigid springs, differing only in price because interscrew spacers are still much cheaper than the springs. Installation of spacers on the struts can be performed with your own hands in the conditions of an ordinary garage. This procedure is most good in order to raise the car. Necessary tools and materials: set of heads and socket wrenches, couplers for the springs, puller steering lugs, hammer, jack, VD40, little stands under the car, or scraps of thick wooden bar. Installation process: so, you have decided to raise the car a little and do it with your own hands. First you need to decide whether you need to lift only the front or the rear. If the front of the car is lifted for more confident overcoming of small obstacles, the rear part is lifted, usually for cars that have to transport heavy loads. After solving this issue, you will have to go to the auto parts store. Spacers for the front of the suspension type, McPherson, look like aluminum or textilite washers, repeating the shape of the upper support of the rack, with holes for the studs of the mount. Make sure the front spacers come with studs, as the length of the standard top mount studs will not be long enough to put the spacer on them. To install them, jack up one side of the front with a jack and place a stand or scrap of bar under it, remove the wheel and then the strut. Change the studs on the upper support, put a spacer on them and put the rack in place. The studs are most often pressed into the holes in the upper support. They are held from turning by splines nailed on them, so replacing them is a matter of knocking out the old ones and hammering in the new ones. The type and shape of the rear strut spacer depends on the design of the rear suspension. If your car's rear strut has an upper strut, the spacer kit should have everything the same as the front strut, and its installation is similar to the front. If the rear rack is not removed as a whole, and its bottom is attached to the bushing of the silent block in the eye of the rear beam, it is necessary to take spacers called houses. It is a piece of pipe rectangular cross-section with 6 holes with a diameter equal to the thickness of the bolts fixing the bottom of the rack. Each spacer kit should include a spacer sleeve and a bolt with a nut for fastening the spacer in the eyelet. One pair of holes in such a spacer, for fixing it in the eyelet, and the other 2 for fixing the silent block of the rack allows you to choose the size of the increase in lift. Fixing the spacer in the rear beam eyelet, do not forget the spacer sleeve. It is placed in the spacer and provides its rigidity through. It passes the bolt fixing the spacer. Such spacers are suitable for suspension in which the struts are used, shock absorbers complete with springs. If the suspension design is different, that is, the springs are not collected in one unit with shock absorbers, then you need to use thickened rubber spacers between the spring and its support cup, not forgetting also to shift the point of attachment of the shock absorber to the lever or installing a shock absorber with a large working stroke, but it is difficult enough to correctly select it by the parameters of vibration dampening, so it is better to shift the mounting of the standard. In conclusion, increasing the ground clearance of your car by installing spacers under the springs is a practical and cost-effective solution for those looking to enhance their vehicle's off-road capabilities or improve its overall stance. By following the steps outlined in this video, you can safely and effectively raise your car's height, ensuring better performance on rough terrain. Remember to consider the various options available, such as different spacer materials and sizes, to find the best fit for your specific needs. With a little time and effort, you can achieve the desired ground clearance and enjoy a more versatile driving experience. Thank you for watching. and happy modifying.